This is Julia Campbell. I help nonprofits build thriving and vibrant communities using online tools. I'm really happy to have you here with me today, October 13th, Friday the 13th. Really excited. I hope that none of you are having bad luck today. I hope black cats haven't crossed your path, all that kind of thing. So let's get right into the discussion for today. First of all, actually, I do want to ask you where you're watching from. I always like to know where my viewers are watching from. As you know, I live north of Boston. It's really cold here. The leaves are turning. It's time for Halloween. In fact, we're doing a lot of fun Halloween stuff this weekend. It's my favorite holiday, as you know, if you know me. So what are you doing for Halloween? Do you celebrate Halloween? Do you even care? What do you do in the fall? Maybe you're in Florida. Maybe you're in the Philippines. Maybe you're somewhere where there aren't leaves changing and it's not freezing cold outside right now. So anyway, let's really get started because I want to talk about the 3 top engagement crushing mistakes that I am seeing nonprofits make on social media over and over and over and over again. So this is going to be a little bit of a soapbox, but also a little bit of a how-to. So the first thing I want to say is that if you don't believe in the power of social media, first of all, you would probably not be watching this episode right now. But if you don't believe in it, just witness what happened on Wednesday when Facebook and Instagram went down for, I think it might have been 10 minutes. I'm not sure. It seemed like an eternity, right? People were completely losing it. They felt disconnected. They didn't know how they were going to get updates, how they were going to get news. I mean, it does seem a little hyperbolic and a little hysterical for sure, but it was true. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, social media, 100%. They have revolutionized the way the human beings communicate. They're not fads. They're not even tools anymore. They are a revolution. So we have to embrace that. We have to understand it. And we have to stop seeing social media as some kind of trend or some kind of marketing tool. They are methods of communication, and they've changed the actual way people communicate, the way they find information, the way they share information, the way they express their values and what's important to them. So we know this, right? Love them or hate them, they're here to stay. So what are the 3 engagement mistakes that nonprofits are making on social media? Okay, number 1, and I have my talking points here. You're boring. I know, it's hard to hear, and you probably know that. You might be shaking your head and be like, yes, we know we're boring. So let's just be really blunt and really honest about this, okay? It used to be when I taught social media, I mean, I've been teaching it for about 10 years now. I can't even believe how much things have changed. It used to be that you could post a great caption and a pretty okay photo and you'd be okay. You'd see lots of engagement. It used to be that you could post, a little graphic that you got off Google Images. And as long as you were, engaging a little bit, you're okay. No, that's actually not what's happening right now. What I see on Facebook especially, but what I see across social media platforms way too often is that nonprofits are literally just posting about themselves. They were told to do that, to be fair. They were told to share behind the scenes stories and to share all of these different things. But honestly, people don't care about your organization per se. They care about your mission. Okay. They don't really care that you got a new corporate sponsor for your gala. They don't care that your board member won an award. They don't care that you have a new employee. It's really hard to hear, but your donors at the end of the day, they really don't. They give to you because they are invested in the mission, So your mission is actually not enough. They're invested in the cause. So it goes even beyond you. So that's the first thing. You share boring stuff. Social media doesn't owe you anything. I had this problem recently in a Facebook group that I administer, social media storytelling for nonprofits, where a woman, and she might be watching this now, and she's a very lovely woman, she was soliciting the members in the Facebook group for donations. And honestly, she has a really great cause, and I'm sure that there's a lot of passion around it, and I know there's a lot of passion behind it. But just having a good mission, just having a compelling idea, some great work, some great accomplishments behind you, that's not enough. You have to earn my attention. We lived in an earned attention economy right now. Attention is probably the most priceless resource right now. Attention. So just because you tell me you have a great cause, that doesn't do me any good. So your mission is not enough. You're not entitled to anything. You're not entitled to praise. You're not entitled to recognition. You're not entitled to social media likes, and you're not entitled to donations. And that's really hard for a lot of people to hear because they work so hard. But social media requires that you earn that attention and that you do so every single day. So I went off a little bit on number one. So number two, the number two engagement crushing mistake that I see on social media every single day: organizations do not know who they're talking to. They act like they're just putting up a billboard or an ad in the newspaper. They don't act like they're talking to real people. Social media channels cannot be used as broadcast mechanisms. You have to know who you're talking to. You have to know what they care about. You have to know what interests them beyond your organization. And what interests them is the cause. That's what kind of ties everybody together. They're all interested in the cause, whether it's preventing child abuse, whether it's creating a safe space for animals, whether it's saving the environment, whatever it is, they're interested in the cause and your little piece of it. Maybe they're very interested in local issues if you're a local organization. Maybe they're interested in food security. Maybe they're interested in alleviating poverty and homelessness and domestic violence, whatever it is. They're interested in the cause. They are not interested in your organization per se. So know who you're talking to. And I have some statistics for you from Blackbaud. Donors feel overwhelmed by the giving process. They did a study where they talked to something like 5,000 individual donors. These are not major gift donors. These are not like Bill Gates. These are not funders. They don't have huge foundations. They're just normal people that like to give to nonprofits. They talked to these people and they found that donors are overwhelmed by the giving process. They find it's too complicated. They get too many asks. We know that. And they never hear from us unless it's to ask for money. This is where social media comes in, because you shouldn't always be asking for money or asking them to do something on social media. 49% of donors don't know how nonprofits use their money. 34% feel hassled. 20% are unsure who benefits from the work they're funding, right? So you're shaking your head and you're saying, oh my God, all I do all day is tell them about the great work that we do. All I do all day is educate donors about what's going on. I really try to balance communications. I try not to ask them for too much money. Once again, it doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't. It matters what they think. And if they're saying this to you, you better be hearing it. You better be hearing it. If they're saying things like this to you, they're giving this information to Blackbaud. They're saying, this is how we feel. We don't know where our money is going, and we don't know if it's making a difference. That's where social media can connect the dots for people. Where's the money going? And is it making a difference on the cause, in the cause that they care about, to the cause that they care about? They're funding you because they care about the cause. Okay, so this is an interesting strategy. Instead of thinking about what gets them excited about your organization and why your organization is so great, why are they excited about the cause? What gets them passionate about it? Why do they share stories? What's going to get them irrationally passionate about something that you share? And it probably has to do with the cause that you are representing. And I don't know what that is. But for instance, if it's domestic violence, stop thinking about how they can help your shelter, how they can help your program, how they can help the women in your program. How can they really move the needle on preventing domestic violence? And share statistics, share national resources, share information related to what your donors are passionate about. Because they don't necessarily see this when they like your Facebook page. That's why let me go off on another little mini tangent. Facebook pages and Instagram accounts and Twitter accounts, they all do best when they're around an issue or a cause. Nobody wants to follow a brand on social media. Nobody wants to follow your organization's name. I always think that it's best to be building your movement around the cause rather than your organization, because that, at the end of the day, is what people really care about. All right, so that's wrapping up number 2. Number 3, nonprofits don't understand that each social media channel is different and requires a different strategy. Facebook is different from Twitter, is different from Instagram, is different from Pinterest. Different size videos, different size photos, different caption lengths, different hashtags, different tone of voice, different times of day, different URL links. Everything is different. Everything is different. You cannot expect to create one type of content and then just cut and paste it into all of these different channels. Certainly you can repurpose it, but I really like the example that I used in my storytelling book from Andy Goodman of the Goodman Center, where he said the story or the content, right, is the gold, and you mold the gold into a necklace or a bracelet or a watch or earrings. You mold it into the specific channel that you want it to be in. And I know you're saying there's no time. I don't have any time to do this. I'm wearing too many hats. I can't possibly keep up with this. Well, what I'm going to say is then just focus on one social media channel and do it well. Maybe 2. I know a lot of people that watch my videos are from small organizations. They might be a 1-person marketing development shop. They might have, 1 to 2, maybe even just a half-time paid staff member. That's completely fine. But what you need to understand is that you cannot half-ass social media. You never could, by the way, you never could, but you especially can't now. People are getting savvy. People are getting smart. Facebook ads are taking over. Paid socials taking over. Videos taking over. I really recommend less is more, quality over quantity. You know that is my mantra. And I really highly recommend breaking up a social media accounts that you don't have time to adequately pursue and understand. So just to give you some examples, right? So square videos tend to work best on Facebook and Instagram. A little bit longer horizontal videos tend to work better on Twitter. Pinterest, long vertical images. That's what works on Pinterest. If you've ever gone on Pinterest, you see those little squares. You can barely see them on Pinterest. Those are the long vertical images. There are a million tools you can use now. Canva, Canva, Adobe Spark, Crello, a million of them. And I've gone over a lot of them in other broadcasts that I've done. But there is no excuse to not to have a visual element, but there's also no excuse to be mass posting, sort of like spray posting and leaving. You have to understand the channel and you have to understand what works. What works on Twitter, like you would never put the same caption on Twitter that you would put on Instagram. Also, hashtags are different on every channel. I don't know why. I don't make the rules. I don't work for Mark Zuckerberg. I'm just telling you because people ask me all the time, why am I not getting engagement? Why am I getting ignored? And then I look at their content and it's just the same thing rehashed across channels and it doesn't make sense for the specific channel it's posted on. Also, your audiences might be different on each of the networks. You have to think about that. Are your demographics different? Do you have a different audience on Twitter? I'm willing to bet you do than you have on Instagram. These are all things to think about. So you need a strategy for each individual channel, and that will definitely get you more engagement. All right, so we're at the 15-minute mark. About 2 things for you. I do have a blog post this week, 10 free ways you can repurpose and upcycle your content. That's on my blog. I'll post it in the comments. It does list some of the tools that new tools, but it does talk a little bit about Canva, but it talks mostly about different strategies for recycling and repurposing your stories and other content. Also, on Monday, October 16th, I'm so excited to announce that I will be part of Be Live TV's first birthday celebration. That's going to be on their Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Be Live TV app. And this is the Be Live is what I use for all of my Facebook Live broadcasts. There are going to be some amazing speakers. I'm on at 11:30 a.m. EST on Monday. We're going to have Molly Mahoney, Mari Smith, who is just an idol of mine, Jason Daniels, Jen Lederer, tons of amazing people. So make sure you check out. If you're interested in live video and knowing more about it, just go to the Be Live TV app, Facebook page on Monday. I'm on at 11:30. I'm happy to take any questions that you might have. Thank you so much for joining me on this Friday the 13th, and hopefully you will be doing something spooky this evening. All right, thank you so much. Have a great weekend, everyone. Cheers.